Hey, this is Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I have this designer yoga mat here, and I am going to attempt to quickly make some terrain, like the flat part of terrain for an alien planet. So I have cut off a piece of this once before to use for something. And this has actually got a texture to it. But I really just want a piece big enough to host a battle on. And I'm just generically trying to follow that line the best I can. This is not about perfection here. Oh. You guys are probably thinking to yourself, I don't know, I'll watch this guy's video. He half butt does everything. But the thing is, I have kids. I have 2 adult sons and 2 small sons that are 8 and 10. And I don't have forever to invest in doing a bunch of craziness. So I got the yoga mat piece here. Got some nicks and some holes in it. It's not brand new. I've had it for a long time. So I'm not too worried about that. It lays pretty flat as it is. It's got an okay look to it. So what I want to do is I'm going to get some orange paint, and I'm going to get a towel, an old towel. If you get an old towel that is no longer, it's got holes in it and stuff, and nobody wants to use it, don't let them throw that away. Tell your wife or your husband or whoever that you need it. Say, oh, babe, I need that. So the paint I have here is ripe tomato. It's from Apple Barrel. It's like a Walmart kind of deal. And what we're going to do is we're going to get it wet, wipe a little bit on there, and then we're just going to start painting this. And the reason we wipe the real excess wetness off is because even though we don't want this to be perfect, we don't want it to be so wet that we can't work with it, okay? And see how there's the white is, you can still see the pattern. That's okay, man. It's okay. We're not sweating it. You guys are probably like, oh, his hands are always gross. Well, it's because sometimes I record a couple of videos in a row, and I just kind of clean up my workstation so I can see what I'm doing, and then call it a win. So I don't use oranges a whole lot. So fortunately, I had plenty of these. They're usually pretty full. Actually, recently, since I started making videos again, I've been using more color than I normally do. I'm historically kind of a grimdark guy, but for this Star Wars-y kind of futuristic campaign I've been doing for the playtest of the Tomorrow Comes Doom in Space, I've been using a lot of color. I don't know what's that. When I go back to fantasy, because we did the Tomorrow Comes Doom modern apocalyptic version, and that went really well, except for one player being kind of a jerk. And which sucks because he was one of our normal players, but the space one's going really well. When I go back to the fantasy, chances are I'm going to go back and start touching on a lot more of the grimdarky feeling stuff, I think. Or maybe I'll stick with the bright colors and do like Storybook Force kind of theme. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a great way to use... Oh, shoot, I forgot to get some of that paint off. It's been a great way to use some of these brighter colors that I have and never use. Alright, so that's a deeper hole where there's some rips in the rubber. So we're going to try to get as much paint down in there. And just leave that as part of the terrain. We're not going to sweat it. You could really change the texture of this if you wanted to. But more so, I'm worried about the color than I am the actual texture. Because this won't be used a whole lot. So what I really want is a texture to throw some scatter terrain down on and some buildings down on, and capture the fact that this is not like a regular Terra type brown and gray earth, brown, gray, yellow earth. This is a planet that has a different color scheme going on. There's a lot of reds and oranges maybe. So we got our map pretty much covered. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Now, if you're trying to do your own thing and you want it to look a certain way, you can get silicone caulk, or you can get spackle like you would use when you're fixing drywall or holes in your from nails in your wall. You can get whatever you want. You can mix toilet paper, water, and glue, and you can create texture. And we can do that kind of stuff, I guess. Maybe if I take a day off here or there and I have more time to prep, we can do stuff like that. I don't really get into it too much, but it is possible to really go a whole different direction with this kind of stuff. So we're gonna hit this with my favorite tool. And like I said, this already has some kind of like gridded texture to it. I don't play with grids in my games. I never really have, at least not in the past 2 millennium or 2 decades. But if you wanted to do grids, it would be too easy to get like a black Sharpie and grid this up. So now we want to get yellow, like a medium or something yellow, I think. I have this King's Gold here. Let's try that. And we don't want this to be as full of a coat as that was. So what we're going to do is we're going to wipe a good bit of that off. And then we're just going to kind of not hit it everywhere. Perfection is not the plan here. We just want to hit it to break up. And you want to get down in the cracks some. We just want to break up the orange because we're going to come back with a tan. And if you watched the failure video of Scatter Terrain, where I forgot to sand the pill bottle cap, you'll see what I'm going for here. Now, this is kind of cool because it has this almost natural, like these were like, you know, when we started, they were like white kind of lightning-ish looking things, and that was neat. But that is not kind of what we want to do here. All right, so, oops. You want to kind of hit it around the edges there. Cover up anything you missed thus far for sure. If you see a little bit of white sticking out right now, it's okay, because we can come over this and wash it when we're done and restore that grid 1 if we really wanted to, which we will be accidentally doing. Okay, so the next one we're doing, and this is the one we want to be really careful with, this is the one we want to keep brown, is we want to do like that khaki we used. So let's get our paint out. Let's find khaki. I had khaki. Here we go. Now this one's going to be more like a dry brush than the others. So let's hit this with a hairdryer. For the smart aleck named Ribbon127 on Discord, I just want you to know, I do not need anybody to buy me cardboard or plastic to make up for me using the same pieces of stuff over and over again. I do that to not be wasteful. I do not do that because I cannot get new cardboard or new plastic stuff. I am trying to contribute to making the world a little better by not wasting everything. I do still waste stuff, which is not great, but at least when I can, I try to reuse things. So if you're wondering about this always being here, it's because I just use it for glue and little dabs of certain paint colors and stuff, and I can, when it dries, I flip it and use it, and then I use it again. I'm not doing that because I can't get new stuff. It's just trying to create less waste, and I'm already turning waste into stuff, but I cut a lot of cardboard up, and a lot of that would have went straight to the landfill. I understand that already. Alright, so we got our color here going pretty good. This is definitely kind of what I wanted. Something that looks non-Earth, Terran Earth, not terrestrial, normal Earth. So we're going to do the wash, and we have to watch we don't get overboard with this wash, right? Because this will not be dry in several hours if we go too far with our wash. So it might behoove me to try not to pour water everywhere, but to use that bigger brush again that I just used on the tan. Okay. So that towel, even though it's old and, you know, my wife wouldn't want it on the shelf, it's good for this, and when she's not home I can wash it and reuse it if it gets too nasty. I say when she's not home because if she saw me sliding that into the washer, chances are I'd be catching a whipping. There's somebody outside jamming loud. I hope they're having a nice Saturday. I hope they're listening to their favorite song since they've decided to share it with the whole neighborhood. That just might be a side effect of me getting old, though, so just ignore it. Wish he would have at least chosen something I liked. Alright. So these videos will probably not get posted till later, because since they are not dry enough for me to take up and throw on the D&D table, or should I say the tabletop RPG table, they're going to have to dry. Then I might do another light dry brush on there. And then I will take a photo for the thumbnail. So I didn't really understand about that kind of stuff. My second oldest son gave me a class about thumbnails and stuff, and about labeling my videos. So I was not an expert on such things. Nor am I still. I'm not claiming to be. So and remember, when your wife or husband leaves, or whoever is the Nazi about the washer and dryer, you can take this towel, just throw it in there. It's all latex, or what do you call it? Not latex, acrylic. So this will not all wash out, but some of the gunk and stuff will come out. And then you want to run the washer again without any nasty crap in it. So anyways, I think this took about 15 minutes. This will do exactly what I want it to do. You can do the same thing too. That yoga mat was from Five Below or somewhere like that, I'm sure, knowing how I am. And it cost me probably $5-10, whatever. And I can use it over and over and over again to make as many battle mats as I want, whether I want them to be textured or I want to change the texture on them, whatever they are. They lay very flat and they're very thin and flimsy. So there you go. There's that. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome Saturday.